house and unplug. Studioeast, where rock bands get intimate and strip it down acoustically. Studioeast, powered by the U.S. Army. They're strong, and then there's Army Strong. Learn more about the U.S. Army at GoArmy.com. Now, let's go live. Studioeast.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Eddie P. from the 95 Will Rock Tom and Emily Morning Show. Welcome to Studioeast. We got Cam and Chris from Veio in the building. Let's give them a warm welcome, shall we?
Thank you.
How's it going, guys?
It's going well.
Yeah, thanks for stopping through. Are you enjoying yourself so far?
First of all, thank you for having us. And yes, we are. We're having a lot of fun on this little mini Midwest tour.
Before we get into like the officials, this room, right? How about this room? It's pretty badass.
Yeah, it's a pretty great setup, you guys.
This is a great setup. I've seen it on YouTube before, so it's cool to be here in
Okay,
person
so
and be up here.
It's not like you were walking in and experiencing it for the first time. I love to watch bands' reactions when they come in here for the first time, and you're going to be one of the last bands to actually do a performance in here.
Probably the last band.
Oh, really?
What an honor. We'll have to do it well.
So congratulations
We'll have to do it well,
for that. We're moving to a new location, so this is going to be one of the things that we miss.
Cool.
So let's start with some basic stuff in case there's anyone listening that might be a little unfamiliar with you. I noticed you describe yourselves on your social media as progressive hard rockers. So what does that mean? Like you're for Medicare for all and you want to erase student debt? What is the...
Well, to us, we write music and we're just influenced by bands who are traditionally kind of prog rock, but also we like to play music and that's a little more on the prog side of things, interesting stuff for us to play. But also we like to keep things listenable as well, because a lot of prog rock bands is just like going super crazy on the guitars and or drums and or the vocals are crazy, and so
almost like less is more kind of thing.
Almost like less is more, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I appreciate and respect like the technical skill it takes to do the kind of stuff you're describing, but sometimes it's almost like your ears can't keep up with that sort of thing. So, not that you can't do it, I'm sure you can, but so you're a fairly new band, you would say, right? I mean, your first like big project came out in 2017.
Yep.
That was Infinite Light, Desperate Shadows.
Yes, correct.
What was the feedback like on that record?
We had pretty good feedback. It was our first record as this group, as this lineup. Our first time writing songs together through as this lineup. So we felt like things came out really well for that record. We had some songs that are very fun to play for us live, but also some songs that were received very well by the people like you guys in the audience, and when we've been on tour, we've pretty much played things exclusively from that record on our tours thus far, and it's been a lot of fun. But we've got a new record coming out here in the next couple months, and we're really looking forward to that. So we're probably going to be moving forward with mostly tracks off of that record.
Is there anything else you could tell us about the new record, or for the most part, are you trying to keep it secretive until it drops?
Well, we just finished recording and got our first mix master of the album back on Monday. So there's a couple more tweaks, and then after that, it's just about getting it through the right channels and releasing it at the right time, probably sometime this summer.
Okay.
Yeah.
You mentioned that playing songs that getting good feedback from the fans, from the listeners, people at shows. Is that how you go about choosing which songs you're really going to push? Because I feel like the way the music business operates these days is a lot different. It used to be you meet with your record label people and they say, okay, this is going to be the first single because it appeals to this radio market. But how do you go about choosing what songs that you're really going to put out there first? And do you sometimes change your mind?
Well, I think we have some idea when the songs all put together about which ones are going to be the focus tracks from the album. But we have a close group of friends and family that have a good ear for it and an honest opinion.
That's good. You don't want yes men or only yes men in your corner, because then they're not going to give you good feedback and you end up putting out bad product. So
yeah, and also we know from the get go, like one of the songs on this new record is 9 minutes long, and we know that that's not going to be played on radio at all.
Unless you're Tool. If you're Tool, then they get the big 10-minute Odyssey played.
Sure. But like going into it, we know that that's not going to be played, although it is my favorite track on the new album. So it's like, okay, we can bust that out live, but we know that that's not really probably going to go anywhere the the mainstream airwaves, we'll say.
So what you're saying is, if you're a real Veio fan and you're about that life, make sure you listen to the 9-minute song because that is your personal favorite. So
if you guys come to a show and see us live and you start screaming Centauri, because that's what it's called, we'll play it for you.
All right. Speaking of your music, you ready to do a song for us today?
We are.
All right, what's the first one going to be called?
This is Flare of Defiance. This is a song that's been being played on radio. You guys may have heard it.
Yeah, we've been playing it.
From Will Rock here. Yeah. So yeah, we a lot of our songs don't really translate acoustically, so we've done a little tweaking for you guys, and the guitars are tuned a little different, and
that's part of the fun.
Studioeast
can be an experiment.
We've been having fun doing them. So
take it away, guys, whenever you're ready.
Tread this line, do I become a muse and pantomime, the one to fuel this grand vexation? My soul divides, do I lay back and wait in asinine, abject consent to great frustrations? We are the ones who crawl. Now it's time that we revolt against the lies. With our tongues cut out, we recall a sacred flare of defiance. Must I contrive, revive a fervent ethos long deprived? This will surviving dark and lonely roads, capitulate in blood atoned. Must I relent, lost in resistance, for I am my own? We are the ones who crawl. Now it's time that we revolt against the lies. With our tongues cut out, we recall a sacred flare of defiance. With crisis abound off our lips, it resounds. I'm not yours. We are the ones who crawl. Now it's time that we revolt against the lies. With our tongues cut out, we recall a sacred flare of defiance. The ones who crawl, a sacred flare of defiance. With crisis abound off our lips, it resounds. I'm not yours. I'm not yours.
thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Veio live in Studioeast, thanks to the U.S. Army. Great job, guys.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
for saying that you usually don't translate your stuff acoustically, I think that came out pretty good.
Thank you.
Yeah. Maybe try to do it a little more often, eh?
Hey, we might. After this.
Like in the middle of your set, maybe slow it down just for 2 songs, then bam,
Have
go back
everybody
into it.
Have everybody bust out their cell phones with the flashlight on, because the lighter things.
The lighter thing is so much cooler, though.
It's
I
way
get
cooler.
it. People, not everyone has a lighter anymore, but the cell phone just doesn't translate the same way. Yeah.
Just to let you know, when we're on stage, we want to blind you guys with our lights, not vice versa. So
There you go.
Yeah.
Veio and Studioeast. So was that song on the previous record, or is that going to be on the new one you got coming up?
It'll be on the new one that's coming out.
That's on the new one. And did you say a title yet of the new album?
The title of the new album.
Yeah.
So that was Flare of Defiance, and the new album is called Vitruvian.
Okay.
Secret's out. Vitruvian.
I hear someone has their Snapchat on. Let's turn that off. Thank you. So that's the new record coming up. Be on the lookout for that if you're a fan of Veio. Now, Brett's not here today.
Brett is not with us on this trip. No.
And you guys are brothers, correct?
Brett and I are brothers. Yes, correct.
So how did that come about? Did you guys always know that you wanted to play music together, form a band, or did it just kind of happen naturally?
We each started playing guitar or piano when we were very young, and then I picked up guitar when I was 10 or 11, and he's 2 years younger than me, so he picked up drums about the same time. So 8 or 9, 10-ish, and we had our little kid band together when it was just me and him playing the school talent
Concerts
shows.
for your cousins at Christmas, that sort of thing.
School talent shows, playing for families, stuff like that. And then we had our high school band together. Then during the college kind of years, we split apart, and then after that, we came back together and started this group.
Any sort of sibling rivalry tensions that come about when you guys are in the studio together sometimes?
I've got no comment. This guy might be able to tell you some stories.
That's true. You're the outsider in that you're not blood related. Maybe you could help us out with this.
Yeah, there's a lot of the the brother stuff that goes on. Anybody that has a sibling, it's real similar. I like to poke and prod just a little bit, just so I can get them started.
Sure.
Then I sort of sit back.
It's probably
and
fun
watch
for
the
you,
entertainment. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So then, Chris, how did you come into the fold and form Veio as it exists today?
Yeah, I responded to a
Craigslist.
ad.
Oh. That's where you find most people,
Right.
Yeah, all my good friends.
It used to be really shady, but I think they kind of toned back on that. So now it's for musicians. I don't want it to get awkward now for you, Cam, but real quick, without even thinking about it, since Brett isn't here,
Yeah.
who's the favorite child?
Oh, that's rough, man.
You got to pick. You got to say.
My
Be
dad,
honest.
my dad might be watching this.
He
I
might
don't know.
be.
His phone's from like 1995, so maybe not.
The world is watching.
Man, I can't answer that.
All right.
Brett will
he's
be
gonna
too
cop
mad
out.
at me. Brett will be too mad at me, and
You guys are a team, and you
we're a
work
team.
together.
We're a team. We're
You're-
a team. We
you're
can't.
each
There is
unique
no
in your
favorite
own way,
child. We're a
right?
team. Yeah, I was the best man in his wedding. So
I understand. Yeah. I wish I had a brother sometimes. I noticed that you guys do a filter cover, specifically "Hey Man, Nice Shot." In fact, that's one of the top tracks that shows up if you go to your website, the top of the webpage there. What was it that made you want to cover that? And do you usually throw covers in with your set list, or is it mostly just that one?
we usually don't. We like to stick to original stuff. We don't do any covers besides that, and we have played that one, "Hey Man, Nice Shot," live a few times. But covers are really popular right now. They're kind of all the rage, and everybody's doing covers. So we kind of thought, hey, we'll play that game too. But in doing that, we wanted to do kind of one of our all-time collectively favorite songs, and a song that, especially a song that's 25 years old and still being played on airwaves every single day.
We still
multiple
played that
times.
song pretty often.
It's great. It's a great song, and we wanted to do. I'm a big Filter fan. I've seen them live. I saw them live growing up as a kid, a couple times, and we wanted to do them justice in doing their track in such an all-time classic, 90s soundtrack song that we chose that one.
That's the hard thing about doing a cover, because you want to do the song justice, especially if you're a fan.
Yeah.
But you also don't necessarily want it to sound like a carbon copy either, because then people say, "Oh, you're just doing the same song over again." So it's
Right.
I salute you for doing a cover like that, especially if you were such a big fan of it in the
Thank
first
you.
place.
Thank
So, you guys hail from Portland, correct?
Yeah, we're Portland, Oregon.
And you mentioned you're out on the road doing a tour right now.
Yep, we are doing as you're seeing right now, kind of a Midwest. I might have just untuned your guitar a little bit.
I'll check.
Sorry, these are already tuned way low, and they're getting in a funk real easy. But yeah, we're on a little, a very brief week-long Midwest press tour. It's been great. We've been playing some acoustic sets like we are for you guys today, and visiting radio stations and venues and all that all over the place. And it's been a great time so far. It's cold out here though.
This is nothing, man. This is nothing compared to how bad it's been. I think someone in the listening audience mentioned the polar vortex we had last year.
Yeah,
Just be happy you weren't here last year at that
No,
time.
no offense. I don't want to take part in that.
Any bands that you were particularly psyched to play with? I think I read that you had played with Seether at one point. Am I getting that right?
Yep.
That's pretty badass. How was that?
It was great. It was a lot of fun. Actually, a lot of the bands that are on the walls up here, a few of the bands on the walls we've been out with. So the Seether tour was great. Mark Tremonti's band was out on that one. So that was fantastic. We're out with Red, who's also on the wall here.
There's a lot of people on the wall here.
Yeah, there's a lot of people on the wall.
Looking around.
But then, we've had the opportunity to tour with some bands that were actually we're fans of those bands too, but bands that are actual newly discovered favorites of ours. There's a band called Sky Harbor, who we're big fans of that we got a chance to tour with, and we're friends with those guys now.
Gave them a free shout out there. Nice.
Oh, I love them. They're friends, and they're awesome, and they're great, and it's cool being able to tour with bands that are newer guys that are coming up as well. I mean, they're much bigger than us, but
and it's harder to break through in the industry these days. So it's good when bands who are just starting out actually help each other out, build each other up, because
totally.
That's only going to help you go farther, I would think.
Yep.
Did you guys have another song prepared for us?
Yeah, the next track we got is called Ghost, and it was off of our previous album, Infinite Light, Desperate Shadows. And we've gotten such a good response so far that I think we're going to put out the acoustic version of it here in a couple weeks. So.
Excellent. It's Veio in Studioeast.
This is Ghost.
High on words I feel familiar. Do I cling to this or change before I die? This haunting scream so loud, peculiar, falling deaf on as I tightly close my eyes. Conclusion, this ghost is hollow, yet it keeps on passing by all through the night. Self-supplied, I've run aground though. It keeps telling me this ocean never dries. Back and forth I go through walls, my demon strolls always reach, dragging me back again. Running out on what's familiar, save tomorrow. Going back seems so peculiar, brave the harrow. Conclusion, this ghost is hollow. Self-supplied, I run aground. Out of my mind every time I reimagine, line after line, memorize and rehearse. Over the night, flooding in, I can't imagine ridding the room clean and dry of this curse. Out of my mind every time I reimagine, line after line, memorize and rehearse. Over the night, flooding in, I can't imagine ridding the room clean and dry of this curse. And back and forth I go through walls, my demon strolls always reach, dragging me back again. Running out on what's familiar, save tomorrow. Going back seems so peculiar, brave the harrow. And keeping it at bay. Running out on what's familiar, save tomorrow. Going back seems so peculiar. Brave the harrow, and I don't mind. Pray next time to walk away, and it takes time. Pray next time, keep it at bay. Keeping it at bay.
Ghost, the
Thank you.
acoustic rendition of Ghost by Veio here in Studioeast. Guys, that was pretty damn good.
Thank you.
Let me say this, the acoustic rendition, I would say it added quite a haunting element to it. And yes, pun absolutely intended. So I think it worked
you.
very well.
Thank
Real quick, before we let you get out of here, if anyone wants to hear your music, catch up with you guys, see where you're going to be next, you got a website or something you want to plug?
Yeah, you can check out all of those things at www.veiomusic.com.
All right.
And that's spelled V-E-I-O.
Yeah.
I chose-
V-E-I-O.
I chose a weird band name, sorry.
Why did you choose to spell it that particular way, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, so long story short, I came up with the band name because I'm a big history nerd. And at the time, we were forming the band and trying to come up with a name. There was, in Italy, in Rome, there was a statue of Apollo recently, at the time, unearthed. And it was in an area called, it's Veio now. I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation of it nowadays, but back in ancient times, in the Roman era, it was Veio. It was V-E-I-O.
Okay.
And it is now a suburb of the Rome metropolis, and so I just thought it was cool. It sounded different. It sounded kind of weird and funky, and no one is getting us confused out there.
That's true.
They just don't know how to pronounce it or spell it. So,
All right, so it's V-E-I-O. V-E-I-O. Veio in Studioeast. Guys, thanks so much for coming in. I would say come back again, but in a few weeks, this place is going to be gone. So come visit us at our new location in Gertie Mills once we get all set up, all right?
we would love to, and thank you very much for having us.
Live in Studioeast, it's Will Rock.
Thank you.